And so our story is in the spirit of that holiday. Our kids will be learning a little bit about Ramadan and eating dates in their classrooms today. Mullah Nasruddin had been working in the fields all day long. He was tired and sweaty, and his clothes and shoes were covered with mud and stains. Because he had been fasting all day long, which happens in the month of Ramadan, he was also quite hungry. Finally, it was almost sundown, and Nasruddin knew that he would be able to eat soon. The wealthiest man in town invited everyone to come break their fasts in his home that evening with a huge feast. Nasruddin knew he would be late if he went home to change his clothes before heading into town, so he decided it was better to arrive on time than to be late. And oh, what a party he was looking forward to. What a feast. Nasruddin imagined the delicious foods he would be able to eat. Dates, lentils, olives, chickpeas, bread, hummus, falafel, chicken, and beef, and best of all, the desserts. Date rolls, figs, baklava. When Nasruddin arrived, the wealthy man opened the door and looked at him up and down scornfully. From his worn, ragged clothes down to his muddy shoes, without a word of welcome, he gestured for him to come in and walked away quite abruptly. Nasruddin joined the throngs of people who were all dressed in their finest clothing. The tables were laden with all the food he had been anticipating. Despite his efforts to hurry, the seats were all taken, and nobody tried to move over and give him a seat or make space for him. In fact, nobody even offered him food. He had to reach over and around people to get any food on his plate. Nobody spoke to him. It was as if he wasn't even there. The other guests ignored him completely, and he couldn't enjoy the food on his plate, no matter how finely prepared and how tasty it was. In fact, after only a few bites, he was so uncomfortable that he decided to leave. He hurried home, cleaned up, changed into his finest clothing, including a beautiful coat. He returned to the feast, and this time the host welcomed him in with a huge smile. "Come in, come in." As Nasruddin entered, people waved and called to him from all corners of the room as they invited him to sit near them and offered him food. He sat down quietly, picking up a fig, and he carefully placed it in his coat pocket. "Eat, coat, eat." Then he took out a few handfuls of nuts and put them in his pocket. "Eat, coat, eat." He started grabbing all sorts of food, putting it in his pockets in his coat. He fed lentils, chickpeas, olives, hummus, that might have been messy, falafel, chicken, all the desserts he was looking forward to. And everybody got really quiet and watched this behavior. What is he doing? They were wondering. The host hurried over. Nasruddin, Nasruddin, what are you doing? Why are you feeding your coat our food?" "Well," he said, "when I first came to this feast in my old farming clothes, I was not welcome. No one would speak with me. But when I changed into this coat, suddenly I was greeted warmly. So I realized it was not me that was welcome at this party, but my clothing. So I decided to feed my coat." And that is our story.